Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to talk about Turkish tea. What is Turkish tea? Now before we begin, I highly recommend you check out the back catalog of episodes that we have, and I'll make sure I put some banners up here for ones that are germane to this topic. So behind me is the Dardanelles. The Dardanelles is a strait which separates Europe from Asia. So we are taking a trip, Casey and I, to see Troy, the ruins of Troy. We are on the European side. We were in Istanbul, which is on the European side. And so Istanbul and where we're at now are on the European side. And one way to cross into Asia is on the Bosporus Strait, which is across from Istanbul. And then the other way is further down here toward the Aegean Sea, which is the Dardanelles. So there's two very famous straits in this part of the world, the Bosporus and the Dardanelles. So we're crossing over to go over to see Troy. So Turkish tea. We've drank a lot of Turkish tea here. I've mentioned in the previous episode, I think at the spice market, that the average Turk on average drinks about 10 cups a day. I've talked to Turks here who say that that's actually nonsense. They drink about 15 cups a day, and it's just part of the culture. No doubt, Turkey's also famous for its coffee, which is known to be very strong. We didn't drink any because I can't drink coffee. The caffeine makes me very jittery. But Turkey's known for both its coffee and its tea culture. We were, of course, in Italy at the beginning of this trip. Italy is not known for its tea culture at all. I mean, that is super, super coffee land, understandably so. But over here, they're big into coffee and they're big into tea. And in, day out, the Turks drink more tea than they do coffee. So Turkish tea is mostly grown on the Black Sea shore. So that's going to be like the southeast part of Turkey, over near a city called Trabzon. And over there, that is where they actually grow. So they do grow domestic Camellia sinensis plants here. We think most of the time we think of like China, we think of India. Those are the two biggest producers of tea and also the exporters of tea. Turkey does export about 5%. Actually, it's a little less, like 3 to 5% of the total production of tea in the world is done by Turkey. So they do make some. Turkish tea is black tea. They don't make anything else here but black tea. And the way they consume their black tea is they consume it as a whole with sugar, and also they'll drink it with lemon. They'll put it with lemon. That is the typical way they will drink Turkish tea. And it's called chai Turkiye here. Chai means tea in Turkish, like it means in India and China as well. So that's how they drink it. So there is no, really, they don't drink it with milk. And certainly they're not making oolong, they're not making green and so forth over there. Now the way they drink it is in these hourglass shaped containers and on a saucer. And I was joking with Casey, it's because you hold it from the top when you get it, and you get it really hot, the black tea, the Turkish tea. And it's like, I don't get why they serve it. It's because they should like serve it maybe 3/4 of the way, because even when you hold the top to drink it, the top is hot. But that's how they've drank their tea here for centuries. So who am I to say anything about that? That they drink them in these little containers. So that in itself is Turkish tea. So the black tea. Now herbals, as I talked about really briefly in the video I did in the spice market, they have a lot of herbals here, and depending on the season you're here, they have certain seasonable herbals. Over here they drink linden tea. Linden is a type of flower. Again, that is not drunk over in America at all. They have a thing called winter's tea, which is supposed to boost your immune system, and that's got a great combo of hibiscus and cinnamon and turmeric and ginger, and that tastes really, really good. And they have some other kind of herbal blends that have a combination of things. They do have an Earl Grey here, as I mentioned before, because they do grow bergamot here, the citrus that goes into the black tea that makes British Earl Grey. And so they have their own Earl Grey over here. Then they have a thing called the Sultan's tea, which is a black tea with rose and some other flowers in it. Just some unique teas that you're really only going to find in this kind of local area of the world. And so that is Turkish tea. So when you think of Turkish tea, and we'll have a future episode on like what is Russian tea, because Russian tea is unique. We talked about in the Maghreb, which is Morocco, Algeria, Tunis, they drink gunpowder, or they drink Moroccan mint, which is gunpowder green with mint. So there's going to be certain countries that have a tea that's very distinctive to their culture. So Turkish tea is black tea drunk with sugar and lemon. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and God bless.